Okay. So now everyone is here in order to learn about the cloud. Okay. So can anyone tell me what do you mean by a cloud? So whatever your understanding is regarding to the cloud. Okay. So cloud is nothing but accessing accessing resources over the internet. Over the internet. So what do you mean by this term? So what resources? So resources is nothing but, in an example, what I can say is you have your Google Drive, and what you are doing, you are accessing this resource over the internet in order to store your pictures, pictures, documents, some some MP3 files, video. So you are using this resource, Google Drive as a resource over the internet in order to store your data. In the same way, cloud is nothing but it is a group of data centers which have been created by the provider. So there will be a different data centers where over the internet you can connect to this data centers and you can access the resources which are present in the DC. DC means data center. Okay. So so in this cloud we have two different technologies. Okay. One we call it as a region, another one we call it as a availability zone. Okay. So I will tell you these two terms. Okay. Availability zone. So coming to region is nothing but it is a geographical location. So what do you mean by a geographical location? Geographical location is nothing but an area where you can install your data centers. Okay. So where you can install your data centers. Something like, I think anyone has heard about data centers? Any idea about the data centers?
Yeah, data center is nothing but uh, uh, where you keep all your servers, network, data, everything.
Correct. So in this data center, it is comprising of your servers, networking devices, firewalls, storages, power components. So where we will have cooling component as well. So there are different tools or different resources which will be there in our data center. So region is nothing but it is a geographical location. Okay. Region is nothing but it is a geographical location. So I will tell you the best example once we complete the definition. Okay. So region is nothing but it is a geographical location. Now coming to AZ. AZ is nothing but availability zone. Availability zone is nothing but we are dividing our region into three different parts. Okay. It may be three different parts, or it may be two different parts, or it may be one different part also. Okay. So what will be there in availability zone? So in availability zone, you will have, suppose if this is my region, so what I will do, I will divide this region into different parts. So why I do this one? Because the major reason for creating this one is for high availability. This is my AZ. This is my availability zone. This is my availability zone. So all these availability zone comprises of region. Okay, in a region you have availability zone. So suppose if someone asks, what do you mean by an availability zone? Availability zone is nothing but a deployment area of your resources. So where you deploy your resources. Okay, I will show you the portal. How I differentiate the region, how I differentiate the AZs. Okay, so
So
availability zone.
AC is nothing but a data center.
Yes, it is a data center.
Okay.
In a C, region is a combination of data centers. AZ is nothing but it is a data center. That's all. It is a collection of region is collection of data centers. Coming to AZ, it is a data center. Okay. So now depends upon the region. There will be 3 availability zones. There will be 4 availability zones. So the total depends upon your provider, depends upon the demand. What they will do, they will create multiple AZs. Okay. So now this is the definition. So Manoj, Bonkur, you can let me know if you have any questions. Okay. So now let us understand why we are moving towards cloud. So what is the advantages of moving towards cloud? So I will give you the notes as well. Okay. So once the class is completed, I will give you all the definitions related to whatever we have discussed. So you don't need to worry about the definitions. So now what are the advantages? Why everyone is moving towards the cloud? The first advantage is maintenance. Okay. The maintenance. Why I am saying as maintenance? So in order to create a application, what do you need to have? You need to have a server, you need to have a networking devices, you need to have a firewall, you need to have power for that server because server will get lot of heat. For that one you have cooling devices. So all these should be there in order to create your application. Okay, but whenever you move this application to the cloud, you don't need to worry about all these things. Just over the internet, open your Azure portal website on your Chrome. On multiple clicks, click number 1, click number 2, click number 3, you have your VM ready and you can install your application over this VM. So that means hardware maintenance is not there in cloud. The second one is cost. So cost is also less. So going to on premises, that means within your data center. Suppose you have your laptop. Okay. If you want to store multiple data around 100 GB to 1000 GB of data, what you can have? You need to buy 1 terabyte hard disk and you need to store in this one. But so you need to have the cost in order to buy this hard disk. But whenever it comes to the cloud, you can have your data in the cloud with very less price compared to your on premises. Okay, suppose if this is costing you around $10, it will be cost you around $0.01. Okay, in order to store your data on the cloud. Okay, clear? Next, the next very important concept is high availability. Okay, suppose in on-premises, what will happen? In order to have your application up and running, you need to have so much of server, so many servers, so many network devices, so many firewalls. But in the cloud also, you can have all these things, but whatever, whenever there is a whenever there is application down, within fraction of seconds, you can have your secondary application running fast. Okay. High availability means if primary application is down, you can switch to your secondary application in fraction of seconds. Okay. So there will be some changes you need to do, but within fraction of seconds, you can move to the secondary scene. Is it clear? Clear? Any
Yes.
questions till now?
Clear, no questions from me.
Okay. I think Shiva already knows this, already we have discussed. Okay. So now let us see what are different types of deployment models. Okay. So coming to these deployment models, we have four types of deployment models. The first one is public cloud. Second one is private cloud. Third one is hybrid cloud. Fourth one is community cloud. Okay. So let us understand one by one. Okay. So coming to the public cloud. So now let me tell you the examples first. Azure, AWS, GCP, and Oracle Cloud. Oracle Cloud, not Oracle, Oracle Cloud. So these four are public clouds. So anyone who is there over the internet, they can use these public clouds over the internet, which is public to all. You can use, I can use, so anyone can use this cloud. Coming to private. So what do you mean by a private cloud? Private cloud is nothing but something like what we can say IBM has their private cloud. ServiceNow, Red Hat, some different other organizations also having private. So the difference here is within their organization. So private cloud is nothing but private to their own organization. Okay. So it is not
Sorry,
the
Raj.
yes.
Do we have a private? Don't we have private in Azure and AWS?
Azure, AWS, GCP, Oracle is a public cloud. It is not a private cloud.
In private cloud, we don't have Azure and AWS.
No.
Okay.
So it is not restricted to one organization, right? So what I'm saying in private, it is restricted to single organization. But coming to Azure, it is not restricted. Okay. So see, if you see my screen, if you go and type portal.azure.com over the internet, you can access. But I don't know the URL of IBM.com. Okay, whatever the IBM cloud it has, I don't know the URL. Only IBM employees or the people who are using this cloud will only know all the information related to this. Okay, got it?
Got it.
Let's say if we buy IBM, okay, the data center is within our premise, or still it is somewhere and we access it privately.
See, you cannot buy IBM cloud. Okay. See, how you can buy that is if you have a company, okay? If you have X company and if you are tying up with IBM, then you can use this IBM cloud, okay? So there is no subscription for IBM cloud like Azure, AWS, GCP, and Oracle, okay? If
Okay.
you have a partnership with IBM, then you can use IBM cloud.
Yeah, I understand, but the, the IBM cloud, when you say private, does the software sits within the within on-prem or it's on cloud?
See,
I'm
you
sorry.
also no. See, it depends totally on your interest. Okay, so normally they don't provide any cloud services to any third parties. Okay, so they will not provide any cloud services. Okay, the only cloud providers are these. These are only the only cloud providers. So here also, if you have a request that I need to have the data center in my own premises, we call it as cloud at customer. There is a concept called as cloud at customer.
Oh, that's not the
Okay,
private one, right?
this is not the private one.
Got it.
These are provided by Azure itself. So what you are requesting? You are requesting to have the data center within your premises only, but this will be maintained by Azure team itself. So you will not be maintaining this data center. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So next. So till private and public clear, right?
Yeah,
To both
yeah.
of you.
So this service now Red Hat IBM, we cannot request, right? Unless we have a special access.
Yeah. So see, not special access. If you are if you are something like you have a 10 people or 50 people office. Okay. So now what you are doing in order to so normally what they will do, they will give this project to IBM. And what you can do if you give the project to IBM, you can ask them, I want to have my data within your cloud itself. So what they will do, they will create the required infrastructure for your application and they will host your application in their data center itself. Okay. So it is not part of your subscription. Okay. You cannot buy this subscription because this cloud cannot be accessible over the internet. Okay. So their cloud can be only accessible within their network over VPN.
Okay.
Okay. That we will understand. Going forward, we will understand what exactly I mean by private and what do you mean by VPN. Okay. So now coming to the third part. What do you mean by a hybrid? Hybrid is nothing but it is a combination of private and public. So these are the combination of private cloud plus public cloud. Okay. So in simple example, what I can say, in your own data centers, you are maintaining your databases, and on the public cloud, you are creating your application. And these two are connected over the internet. Sorry, not over the internet, over the network. Okay. So there are different concepts like VPN. By using VPN, we can connect, or by using something called a legal line. Okay. Dedicated legal line.
Okay.
So these are the terminology which we use in order to connect your data center to the public data center. Yeah, Siva. Any questions?
No, thanks.
Okay. So hybrid is nothing but it is a combination of public and private. Now, the last one, sorry, the last one coming to hybrid. So whatever you have asked me, Siva, you will get the answer. Okay. So community cloud is nothing but if X is an organization, Y is an organization, and Z is an organization. Okay. If these three organizations came together and creating their own data centers in order to fulfill their requirements, what they will do, they will create a data center, and all these three organizations will use the same data center in order to host their applications. Okay? Okay? Clear?
Yeah, clear.
So it is something like a partnership. Okay? So they are partnering in order to fulfill their requirements. Okay? Clear? Gonkuri, clear regarding these four concepts?
Yes, yes. Could you please tell me one example for hybrid and community?
See, hybrid and community. See, hybrid. See, Infosys is a one company which is having a hybrid model. Okay. Now coming to the community. So community, if I say, I'm not sure about the exact examples, but what I heard is there are some companies like IBM, Red Hat, there is something called as Teradata. So these are some of the companies where they are clubbed together in order to create their own data center. Okay.
Got it.
So I think, I don't know. I think Bonkari, you are working in Infosys. So see, I will tell you, most important thing what we need to understand is anyone is using public cloud, they are automatically they are in hybrid model. This is 100% sure. Who is using public cloud, they are also part of hybrid cloud. So banking systems, banking, if any bank is having cloud, it is a hybrid model. Remember, if any banking is coming to you and saying that I want to go with AWS, Azure, Google, and Oracle, it is a hybrid cloud by default. Okay, so you don't need to ask them. Okay, because some applications will be there in cloud and some applications will be there in on premises. That is for 100% sure. Okay. So that is related to deployment models. So now the last part of introduction is service models. So what do you mean by service models? Let me clear my screen. Okay. So now the service models. So I will create the document and I will share it with you after this class gets completed. Okay. So the first service model is infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. So let me show you a diagram. Okay. Let me show you a diagram so that it will be easy for me to explain. Okay. Can you see? It is not. Okay. Correct. If you see the diagram, can you see the diagram?
Yeah, I think it's loading.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it visible now?
Yeah.
Yes.
So in on-premises, from your hardware to your applications, we will be managing. Okay. This is our on-premises. Okay, this is our on-premises where we will manage application, data, runtime, middleware, operating system, virtualization, server, storage, networking. Everything we will be taking care. But coming to infrastructure as a service, the last four, networking, storage, server, and virtualization, will be taken care by the cloud managed, and from the operating system till the application, we used to take care everything. Okay. So what type of operating system you want? What is the middleware software you want? Whatever the runtime means. Runtime means, can anyone tell me what do you mean by runtime? Runtime is nothing but your Java, your Python, your Ruby. So these are the runtimes. So what the data you are storing, what type of application you are going to install on this server. So everything will be taken care by you. Okay, clear? Infrastructure means infrastructure will be taken care by cloud provider. Okay, clear? Any questions?
Clear.
One second. One second. One second. Someone is calling. Yeah. So coming to platform as a service. Okay. So what do you mean by a platform as a service? So platform as a service is nothing but till the runtime, cloud provider will take care only whatever the code you have, you will be taking care. And once the code is deployed onto this hardware, the application will be taken care by the customer. Okay, either the customer or the client. Okay, clear? Now let me show you the example. Okay, let me show you this example. So the best example for this one is, for this platform as a service is, anyone has heard about app engine, app service, sorry, not app engine, app service in Azure, and database. So both are the same. Okay, both are platform as a service. So in database, you don't need to take care about the infrastructure, operating system, runtime. So you don't need to take care of this one. Okay. So let me go to the differentiation in the Azure. Okay. So now when you go to the Azure, whatever the virtual machine you see, when you click on create Azure virtual machine, okay. So here you can see you need to maintain your operating system as well here. Ubuntu, SUSE, Red Hat, Debian, Windows Server, all these things. So virtual machine is a infrastructure as a service. Okay. Now another service is app service. Okay. App service is a platform as a service. So when you click on web app, so here you are not able to see anything related to operating system, what type of configuration you want to do. But what you need to do, you need to select what is your runtime, Python, PHP, Node.js, Java, .NET. So once you select your Java, so which operating system you want to use, Linux, Windows. So everything will be taken care by the cloud provider itself. Okay, is it clear?
Yeah.
Any questions? Okay. So now coming to the third model. One second. Sorry, one second. Someone is at the door. Okay. So coming to the next one, software as a service. So you don't need to take care of anything. So everything will be taken care by the provider itself. Okay. So software as a service, simple logic. Google Drive, Dropbox, and WhatsApp. That is also one type of service. Facebook. So all this will come under software as a service. So I'm just giving you this link in the chat. If you have time, you can go through this one. Okay. So what do you mean by infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service? Okay. So everything is clear till now. Any questions?
Clear for me.
Okay for me.
Okay. So now let us start with our actual concept. The first concept which we are going to cover in Azure training is virtual network. Azure virtual network. So it is 3 hours of class, maximum 3, minimum is 3, maximum is 4 or 5. Okay, 1 week. Okay. So here what we are going to cover. So the first thing what we are going to cover, let me take the okay. Okay. Virtual network. Azure virtual network. So here the first thing what we are going to understand is what do you mean by a network? Okay. Network. Network is nothing but connecting two or more devices for communicating. Okay. So network is nothing but, in example, let us see, you have your router in your home and you have a laptop, you have a mobile phone, you have a tab. Okay. So what you are doing for this laptop, you will have a IP address. For your mobile phone, you will have a IP address. For tab also, you will have a IP address. So how you are getting this IP address? So whenever you connect this laptop to your router or to your device which is there in your home, what it will do? It will provide an IP address to this device in order to communicate between this mobile and to this tab. Okay. So how this IP address has been provided? So there is a concept which we call it as a DHCP. Okay, so we will discuss about this later. But network is nothing but communication of devices between each other. Okay, or sharing of data between two different devices. We call it as a network. Okay, is it clear? What do you mean by a network? Any questions?
No questions.
Bonkuri, any questions?
No, no.
Are you able to follow me?
Yes, yes, Rashid.
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah. Okay. So now coming to this network, the next concept is sub network. Okay, which we called it as in our terminology we called it as a subnet. Okay, dividing the network into smaller parts for better usage. Okay, so what do you mean by this term subnet? Dividing the network into smaller parts for better usage. Okay, let us take an example that building. Okay, suppose if I take a building concept. Suppose this is my Infosys
Sorry
campus.
to interrupt you. Is it
Yeah.
the subnetting?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is similar to subnetting, right? Okay, so what do you mean by subnetting? Subnetting is nothing but we are breaking down a network into smaller parts, right? It is the same, right? In subnetting, what we call.
Yeah, /24/32
Yeah,
slash.
/24/25. So I will come to this. Okay.
Okay, okay, thanks.
So we are doing why we are doing subnets. So there should be a use, right? Why we are using subnet is nothing but if I have 24 range in my organization. Okay. In my organization, I have /24 range. So now you have a requirement that I want to connect 10 different computers in order to communicate between each other. Okay, there is a requirement of 10. Can I assign /24 in order to fulfill this requirement?
Cannot.
We can. We
But
can
you will be
give.
assigning more IPs.
Correct. So see, that is /24 means we are having 256 IP addresses. That means I am able to fulfill my requirement. But we are not using this one. We are dividing this IPs into smaller pieces so that our usage will be depending upon our requirement. Okay. So in order to have 10 IP addresses, what I can do, I can give /28. That means I am having 16 IP addresses where 10 IP addresses can be utilized and remaining 4 IP addresses can be used later. Okay. So in a simple way, what I'm saying is in order to utilize your IP addresses in a better way, what we are doing, we are dividing this network into smaller pieces. Okay? Clear? Sorry.
I'm
Clear?
clear on this.
Bonkari, you are clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So now the next one. So we will see this everything in practical. Okay. So first we will discuss route table. A route table is nothing but giving directions to the destination. Okay. So providing directions to the destination. That means now you have a VM in your Azure. Okay. You have a virtual machine. And there are two things. You can connect to internet. You can connect to your organization. So now you have two different requirements. So now what I will do, I will create a route table in between, and I will say to this VM that if you want to go to this on-premises virtual machine, you need to go to this router, which is connected to your on-premises. So here I can say that express route. Okay. Express route is one of the option in order to connect to your on-premises, and there is one other option which is VPN. Okay. In the same way, if this VM want to connect to internet, what I can say, listen VM virtual machine. If you want to connect to internet, either you can go to internet gateway or you can go to NAT gateway. What is the difference between internet gateway and NAT gateway? Is simple logic. Internet gateway is for public IP addresses. NAT gateway is for private IP addresses. Okay? Clear? Okay. Let me tell you the differentiation of this one. Let me tell you the differentiation. Now, I am opening my command prompt. Okay? So, this is my laptop where I am telling to you, right? If I show IP config, you can see everywhere it is 192.168.1.2, 59.1, 56.1. So everything is private IP ranges. So how I'm saying these are private IP ranges? There is something which we called it as a RFC 1918. So RFC 1918 will tell you the private IP ranges which we can use within our personal use. Okay. For our personal use, we can use this RFC. Okay. Now, how I can get the public IP address of my machine? Okay. So, what I will do, I will go here and I will say, get my public IP from command prompt. Okay. So, what I will do, I will just open this one and there will be a command. I'm not finding it today. Yesterday only I have taken this is the command. Okay.
Maybe you can type what is my IP.
Yeah, that also works. So I'm just showing you multiple options. Okay. So now you can see 106.222.228.232. Now you go what is my IP address? What is my IP? Just open this one. You can see this IP address. Okay. Open your mobile. Okay. Open your mobile. And again, you type the same thing. What is my IP? If you open your mobile also, it will show you the same IP address. Okay. So how I am connecting to internet? So in your local laptop, you are using a concept called as NAT concept, NATing. Okay. Network Address Translation. That means, so your laptop, my laptop, every laptop which is given by the service provider, I'm not saying something like it is same for everyone, but if that is a larger provider, if something like if we talk about Tata, AT&T, Singtel, Verizon, so what they will do, because there is a larger network, what they will use? They will use three different IP ranges: 10.0.0.0, 172.16.0.0, 192.168.0.0. So these are the IP addresses used internally within your organization or at residential. Okay. Residential at residential, they will only go with these IP ranges. If that is a bigger organization, then they will go with this one or this one. So 10 dot series is class A, 192 series is class B, 192 series is class C. Okay, clear? Now let me show you this one as well. RFC 1918. So here you can see this document describe address allocation for private internet. The allocation permits full network layer connectivity among all hosts inside an enterprise. Understand? Within an enterprise, you can use these ranges. Outside of enterprise or between different enterprises, you cannot use this one. If you are using this one, there should be non-overlapping IP address. Okay. There should be non-overlapping IP addresses. Okay. So now, what do you mean by route table is which will tell you the direction to your destination. Okay. Clear? Any questions?
Clear.
Okay. So now let us discuss about the next one, which we called it as a network security group. Okay. Okay. I will. Okay. Network security group. Allow or deny the traffic into deny the traffic towards Azure or towards Azure or outside to Azure. Okay, clear? So it is nothing but in simple terms, if I want to say what do you mean by network security group is nothing but a firewall. Okay, so firewall is nothing but, so what you will do, you will have a wall here and you will put a gate.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. I'm sorry.
No problem. No problem. Yeah. So this is my firewall, and here I will write the rules. Okay, I will write the rules, and I will see if the traffic is coming into the Azure. If this traffic is allowed by these rules, the traffic will come inside. If there is no rule, whatever the traffic is coming, it will be denied. Okay. In the same way, if the traffic is going outside of Azure, if the rules are matched, then the traffic will go outside. If not, the traffic will be dropped in the firewall itself. So that means firewall is nothing but allowing the traffic into the data center or to the outside world, and in the same way from outside world to inside world. Okay. Is it clear till now?
Yeah.
Till now it is clear. Any questions?
No.
So all these things, whatever you said so far, 2 points, are the topics that we're going to discuss for this week, right?
No. So what we are going to discuss is, let me show you. Okay. Let me share my virtual network. So virtual network we are going to cover. We are going to cover load balancers. We are going to cover in the networking. We are going to cover DNS zones. Okay. We are going to cover traffic manager profiles, how to create a traffic manager profiles. Okay. After that, we are going to see virtual private gateway, virtual network gateway we are going to see. So by using this, we will create the VPN. Okay. So that is called as site.
So just now you discussed about 4 things, right? Networks.
Yeah, that where you will see, that you will see here in virtual
Those are
network.
concepts only, right?
Yeah, that are concepts only. Within this one, you will see different concepts. Okay. So once you create, so we will see the lab tomorrow. Okay. So first,
Yeah,
whatever we have discussed today, we will see the lab tomorrow. Okay. I will show you how to create a network, how to create a subnetwork, how to create a route table, how to create a security group. And the last point which I'm going to cover is peering. So peering is nothing but connecting two different VNets in the same region or different region. So what do you mean by a peering? Peering is nothing but connecting two different virtual networks. Okay. It is simple. Something like, I think you know about what do you mean by a router. Do you know what do you mean by a router?
it will route the traffic from X
Correct.
to Y.
So router, what it will do, it is a device which will connect two different networks. Okay. Two different networks. Okay. Two different networks. And coming to switch, it will connect within the same network. Within the same network. That means your LAN, this is router is WAN.
Well,
Okay. Wide area network, local area network. Okay. Is it clear? Any questions? Any questions till today what we have discussed?
I'm good.
Any questions? Siva or Bonkuri? Any questions?
I'm good.
No from me.
So everything, I think you are able to follow me, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's clear. It's clear.
Okay. So in tomorrow's class, what we are going to discuss is we are going to discuss different scenarios. Okay. So what we are going to discuss. So let me. So the first we are going to see creation of virtual network, creation of subnet, creation of virtual machine, creation of route table. So tomorrow it will be totally practical. Okay. So we are not going to discuss any theory. Okay. Creation of NSG, network security group. Establish the connectivity between two different networks in same region and different region. So these are the six things which we are going to do tomorrow. Okay, clear? So these four on top four will take 10-15 minutes, but showing you the demo for this one will take around 30-35 minutes. Okay, because there are so many things which I want to show you. Okay, so because I need to cover so many scenarios based on the interview questions, and for AZ 700, which is networking specialist, and for AZ 104 and AZ 305. Okay, so I will cover all the questions for this topic. Okay, so before you come to tomorrow's class, I want to have your account ready. Okay, so make sure that you have your account with you.
Okay.
Okay,
One
Okay,
question. How may I address you? Is it Raj or Shekhar?